Liverpool attempt to break 7-year record with Community Shield win. Sunday afternoon's Community Shield match against Crystal Palace at Wembley is the 25th that has involved Liverpool, and the club will be hoping to notch their 11th win too. Kickstart the season, of course. The reaction to the result of the match very much depends on whether your team wins or loses. It might be a piece of silverware, or it could merely just be another preseason game ticked off. For Liverpool, securing a win is the attitude. New players are still being broken into the team, and reiterating the winning culture at the club is important. Arne Slot will want to see his team win it. At the very least, both sides will be tested physically and in a tactical sense. The work that has been put in off the field will get its first real outing. Crystal Palace are an incredibly tidy outfit under Oliver Glasner, and no one is about to take them lightly. It will be a fascinating contest when the teams meet. Liverpool won the Premier League last season by 10 points. And that's the main reason. Why the Reds qualified for the match, while the Eagles won the FA Cup, their first piece of major silverware. If you recall, Manchester City and Manchester United were involved in the last one, and while City would have felt they started their season in the right fashion, they then failed to win the league title. This is a trend that stretches back to 2018. When Pep Guardiola's side won the trophy against Chelsea in a 2-0 win and won the 2018-19 Premier League by 1 point over Liverpool. Since then, no team has won the Community Shield and subsequently won that season's Premier League, and Slot will desperately be hoping to end such an unfortunate streak. Now it's his turn, of course. The Reds are favourites to win the Premier League, and the Community Shield match should have no consequence for the Reds' season whatsoever. But it's a superstition for some. Furthermore, the match itself is far more important than being used in a season prediction. We've seen all sorts of bizarre results from Premier League teams this season that likely meant nothing. But if the Reds are to be crowned winners tomorrow, then history will need to be created by this Liverpool side if they are to repeat their success 9 months later. But have you ever seen a team more willing to rise to the challenge than this one? After all, everyone wrote Liverpool off ahead of last season, when hardly any money was spent on transfers. This time, we've spent nearly £300 million. So just bear in mind that anything's possible, and the Premier League's mixed form with Community Shields is merely coincidental. But after all, history is meant to be broken. So I really wouldn't worry. Got Club World Cup champions Chelsea beat AC Milan 4-1 at Stamford Bridge on Sunday, as Enzo Maresca's side closed out their mini preseason in style. In their second of 2 friendlies, ahead of the Premier League season in just a month since they won the Club World Cup trophy, Chelsea scored twice early thanks to an own goal from Milan's Andre Kubis, and the brilliant João Pedro made it 5 goals in 5 games as a Chelsea player. Kubis was then sent off inside the first 20 minutes for hauling down João Pedro, who was clean through. But 10-player Milan hung in there well as Fofana pulled one back, in between a brace from second-half sub Liam Delap. Next up for Chelsea, a home game against Crystal Palace next Sunday, 9 a.m. ET, to kick off the Premier League campaign. Expectation levels are rising as Maresca's side looks sharp and full of confidence after their very successful summer. Cole Palmer, João Pedro, Pedro Neto, Enzo Fernandez, and Moises Caicedo all looked superb, while youngster Estevao dazzled off the bench as the hype continues to build after he starred in Chelsea's previous friendly win against Bayer Leverkusen. Liverpool need to tighten up. London, August 10. Reuters, Liverpool have conceded many goals in preseason and need to adapt defensively when they begin their Premier League title defense. Manager Arne Slot said on Sunday after his side lost the Community Shield to Crystal Palace, "The Reds have splashed the cash this summer, signing playmaker Florian Wirtz, plus forward Hugo Ekitike, and attacking fullbacks Jeremie Frimpong and Milos Kerkez. Though key players have also departed. After winning the league in Slot's first term, with only Federico Chiesa added to the squad left by former boss Jurgen Klopp, Liverpool fans' expectations for the coming season have been buoyed by the uncharacteristic transfer spree. The new-look side has started brightly, with Liverpool scoring 20 goals in 6 preseason friendlies and looking fluent at times against Palace, with Slot saying his side are able to create more and we are more comfortable on the ball. But after conceding 2 goals to Palace, having shipped 8 in their last 4 warm-up games. Slot expressed concern that Liverpool's improved attack may have come at a price. Last season, we had a lot of ball possession, but that didn't always lead to promising situations, Slot said after they were beaten 3-2 on penalties following a 2-2 draw with Palace. Now we are better in creating and getting promising situations than we were, in my opinion, throughout the whole last season. But the other side is also true. And what made us really strong last season was we only won mostly by a margin of 1 goal, and that had mostly to do with us keeping a clean sheet, or as a maximum conceding 1 goal. He added, "It needs maybe a little bit of adjustment defensively at the moment because we don't concede a lot of chances, but we do concede goals at the moment." Slot was nonetheless confident Liverpool could integrate their new signings, adding that sometimes you need some time either to adapt offensively to adapt defensively. The football world is up in arms after fans inexplicably booed the minute's silence to pay tribute to Diogo Jota and his brother ahead of the Community Shield clash between Liverpool and Crystal Palace on Sunday night. The Liverpool star tragically died in a car crash alongside his brother Andre in July. The 28-year-old's death rocked the footballing world as tributes quickly flooded in for the Portuguese international and his brother, and in a true act of respect, various tributes have been made throughout each of Liverpool's preseason matches as an act of ultimate respect to their former player and his brother. That was again the case during the 2025-26 season. Curtain raiser at Wembley Stadium against Crystal Palace. In the crowd, plenty of fans wore Jota shirts as well as held scarves featuring his face. Liverpool also paid a subtle nod to their former player in their kit, with Forever 20, a reference to his squad number, which the club retired after his death, embroidered on their kits.